You see what I mean? It's kind of like the age-old rule. Oh. Okay.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for supporting SnortBucks Coffee and for the opening of our new shop. It was more of a soft opening, if you will. Gave us a chance to kind of test out the market, see how things worked out. And we're gonna go ahead, scale it back a little bit. We have some overall things we want to do with the broadcast to make it a bit more engaging. Hopefully, it flows a little bit better, and so on and so forth. This was spoken about like 2, maybe 3 broadcasts ago, but I'm just kind of bringing people up to date. Don't worry, all of it will come back, and hopefully, it'll be just a bit more streamlined, as well as with 1 or 2 additional features. So, trying to put a little bit of thought into what comes next, if you will. So, until then, the next broadcasts, broadcast moving forward at least until probably the winter, will probably be the way it is now, with a couple of tweaks until the main broadcast and how the main format of the show moving forward will come out. So look forward to that. Yet again, my apologies about the Live from the Gentleman's Club interview, but we're going to redo it. Ghostly Winds has been very cool with that, so that's coming forth. And then after that, I have a bunch of other people on the list, and then we can start adding people, so that should be fun. So look forward to that moving forward. And that's that. Also, there are going to be some longer broadcasts, so that should be cool. And with that being said, let's go ahead and christen this, if you will, with our news broadcast, news broadcast proper, shall we? We're here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, DSP. It's not DSP Gaming. If you guys have noticed, if you're clicking on Snort Burnell videos, or if you're watching them, hopefully you are. Snort Burnell, DSP. Oh boy, actually I have 3 videos for you. First video, living the dream life with cherry juice and turkey burgers. Oh wow. Second video, hardcore begging season 2019, and proud of not working for 11 years. We're not even done yet. Last video of the broadcast. It's time for gouty sauce, and don't worry if you can't contribute. Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, the hardcore begging season has kicked off, which is actually, if you're part of the psychosis, the piggy psychosis, over there on Dark Side Phil's side of the spectrum, it's actually the hardcore begging season. This is where all of the AAA games are supposed to come through and save Phil's ass and carry him until the holiday season, where he can go ahead and tell you some new sickness, some new financial problem, so on and so forth, to help you guys get him nice stuff for Cat leading into the new year, and then taxes and so on and so forth. This is the big season that has been christened the hardcore begging season by the opposition, because this is where the shenanigans come out. This is where the rage comes out. This is where the disappointment and the failure comes about in full-fledged. This is where stories start to get conflicted. Phil starts to get emotional around the holidays. It's a great time of the year. It's not necessarily Thanksgiving or Christmas, but it certainly comes early. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, last holiday season, the first holiday of that holiday season, if you will, of the hardcore begging season, was the Halloween horror movie, the Halloween horror video game marathon, whatever, something along those lines. And we know how that ended, in utter failure, and with the, I guess you could say, with the catchphrase, which should be hashtag it's Tevin's fault. This year, what will be this year's hashtag? What will be this year's blunder? Who will be the new face of resentment and blame this time around? Will it be Lightside Bill? Will it be Dark Dave Mears? Will it be someone on Twitter? Will it be Kiwi Farms again? Who knows? Should be exciting either which way. Now, as you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube landscape is changing. With the breakdown of Boogie for whatever reason, Medicare is now over there on BitChute, and just things on YouTube getting shaken up. If a big situation like the Escort Saga or something along those lines were to come about, there's nobody to defend Phil this time. If Phil doesn't go ahead and produce some proof, he's going to be pretty much out on his own. He's going to have to fend for himself. So when Phil says something about living the dream with cherry juice and turkey burgers, and when he says that he's proud of not working for the last 11 years, these are going to be some of the key points that people are going to attack him on moving forward. Because you not working for 11 years might seem like a good thing if you were successful, if you were self-sustaining, and you're not. Darkside Phil certainly is far beyond all that. And if anything, ladies and gentlemen, if I'll go ahead and put it out there now, the theme for 2019, as it pertains to the DSP community, the Detractor community, and so forth, has been, I think this theme has been debunking. It's really been going back and digging into Phil's past to try to debunk a lot of the bullshit that he portrays and pushes on people now. It's been a rather fruitful year, to be honest with you, especially since the debunking theoretically started before his 7 years of debunking. It's been going on a little bit before that. But I think that's going to be the theme for this year. I think this holiday season is going to be rough. We've had 2 years of shenanigans, 2 years of lies, 2 years of helping me with these financial situations, and a girlfriend popped up, which eventually turned into a fiance and then a wife. A cat's popped up, supposed business taxes. Those, I believe that actually happened, but supposedly back taxes that mom and dad end up paying for. All kinds of shenanigans. What will 2019 bring? And the reason why I'm telling you all these different things is because that's what 2017 and 2018 and 2017 brought. That's why the hardcore begging season is such an exciting time of the year if you're paying attention to the DSP sphere. And hopefully, and hopefully we can help contribute to that in some way, shape, or form. Ladies and gentlemen, I've held you guys long enough. Let's go ahead and get into the broadcast proper, shall we? You guys all know the slogan. All of you should have your SnortBucks coffees and whatnot, because as you know, we have started home production and whatnot. You can find us in your local stores until we open our own storefront back up. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very nice that we were able to get that deal going before before we ended up scaling back our what's the word? I guess scaling back our business model and our production. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Snort Report, and this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I don't smell no bacon cooking yet, but I'm on it. I'm back on it. Okay, I'm back on the grind. I'm back in front of the stove, and I'm here to bring you that delicious saltiness that you guys are so used to. It's time to watch me work. Oh boy. Oh boy.
This is how we play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with one of 3 videos that's going to make up today's broadcast. We are here with one of our favorites, Snort Burnell, DSP. Living the dream life with cherry juice and turkey burgers. Oh boy. 37, and the only thing you can do is drink I would assume a very bitter, unless he's drinking like ocean spray or something, but it's probably not. He's probably drinking something more organic. But just imagine being 37 years old and drinking a substance just to fight your gout away. That's all you can do to fight gout, at least in his mind. And reduced to making turkey burgers because you're too lazy or too stupid to cook anything else. And that's the dream life. Here we go.
We start off today with a cheer from Handicapped Gaming ER, who did a 100-bit cheer and said, "Hey Phil." Then did a 150-bit cheer and said, "Morning, sir." Then did a 300-bit cheer and completely made up a story, which is hilarious. They're basically trying to say one of the Baby Man Gamings is harassing them and sending them messages saying not to contribute, okay? However, this is pretty funny, because he did it again. He did another 200-bit cheer saying, "Baby Man Gaming 321 ABC is sending me messages telling me not to donate. This is troll behavior, and this should be banned from the chat," and yada yada yada, okay? So as this was going on, because people, I guess apparently people think I'm stupid or something.
Obviously.
As this person was cheering and doing all this and carrying on, saying that someone was harassing them, in the stream chat, Baby Man Gaming said, actually, this guy, Handicapped Gaming ER, is actually the real original Baby Man Gaming, from a couple weeks ago, who had been banned before being an asshole. And
oh yeah, that's right. The story of Baby Man Gaming is actually kind of an interesting one. So Baby Man Gaming gets banned over there after being there for a very long while, to be perfectly honest. He gets banned, and then all these other Baby Man Gaming start popping up. And so, in truth, now, do all these accounts belong to the original Baby Man Gaming? We don't know. We don't know if all of them belong to him or if any of them do, to be honest. But he's built himself, or a small army, if you will, has formed around him. That's absolutely amusing. I don't even know, nor do I remember, how Baby Man Gaming even got banned. I don't know. He must have got woke and then they dropped him. You know, that's usually what happens over there. But at least he's still remembered in name, or in name variants. Let's continue.
what he's doing is he's trying now to attempt to get all the other Baby Man Gaming banned for people who basically stole his name, you know, all the spin-off Baby Man Gamings. First of all, a lot of people have been asking me this. I don't know what this is about. There was one guy who was named Baby Man Gaming, and he was coming to the streams, you know, fairly frequently. I'd say maybe a couple times a week. And he would interact with me, and sometimes he would cheer, and sometimes he wouldn't. And sometimes he'd derail the stream with silly stuff, and sometimes he wouldn't. But in general, you know, it wasn't too negative of an influence, although sometimes I say there was some silly drama that he tried to stir up. I don't even remember what happened to get him banned. I don't. I really honestly don't remember what he said or did. But he did something that finally either irked me or got one of the mods to say, "Alright, enough is enough."
Fucking ban.
And he got banned from the chat. And I guess now what happened was, in the meantime, a lot of people also made accounts that were called Baby Man Gaming with various different letters and numbers. Now, I don't know if they were doing that to troll him, or if they were doing that to try to troll me and distract me, but basically it got so confusing, because there were so many Baby Man Gaming in the chat, I didn't know who was who anymore. You see, there's so many of them that they became indistinguishable from one another, and there was no way to know who the hell was who, so it basically became kind of like a trolling tactic to make an account called Baby Man Gaming.
You know what's interesting, now that I think about it? One, Phil is someone who checks the chat logs daily. So he knows who gets banned and who doesn't. He knows what the situation behind it is. You guys know this is true because he actually checks live on stream sometimes on why people were banned, despite the fact that he says that you should go through a mod. Or you can contact him, but you should contact him through email, and then he'll review it off stream. And now, occasionally, I should say, he will go ahead and make his reviews live on stream. So you know that he checks the chat logs and he knows what the deal is. But the main point that I wanted to get to is, why didn't anybody make parodies of King Tut or Emerald 7? I'm really surprised no one did that. I'm also surprised there weren't multiple variances of Third Eye the Third. I don't know. Maybe maybe Baby Man Gaming was just ahead of the curve, or maybe if it is him under or behind all these sock accounts, he created all these sock accounts in advance. I don't know. But I'm just, now that I think about it, I'm just surprised that you didn't see more parody accounts of some other notable individuals over there on DSP's stream.
So now apparently the original Baby Man Gaming is back with a new account, and he's trying to get the other Baby Man Gaming banned for copying his name, so he can come back and become the original one and only Baby Man Gaming. Because there can only be one Baby Man Gaming, much like the Highlander, you have to fight on top of a cliff with swords, and giant flowing locks from 1980s hairdos, and really cool flare lens effects, and weird music playing, as you duel it out for the supremacy of Baby Man Gaming.
I don't feed babies. I only feed strong, working adults. You better grow up like me. Then I'll feed you.
Okay? So, I guess we're gonna see what happens here. But, I'm very sorry, Handicapped Gaming ER, I'm not gonna ban anyone without any kind of evidence of the stuff that you're saying. It's apparent that you probably are the real Baby Man Gaming, but you did get banned and now you're upset. And now you're so upset that you're making stuff up. You're really trying hard. And, sometimes tryhards don't always prosper, as they say. So, I don't know who says that. But, sorry, I'm not gonna be doing any moderation actions on your behalf. However, I will say, thank you.
Like Phil in Street Fighter V. I think that's a suitable example.
Very much for the cheering contributions, and maybe one day you will be the only Baby Man Gaming standing. However, for now, it seems like there will be many Baby Man Gaming fighting for Baby Man Gaming supremacy here in my stream chat. Don't ask me what the hell's going on, because I have no clue.
I'm a mature adult, and I'm not a children's entertainer.
Anyway, let's continue. Handicap Gaming Yard at a 250-bit cheer. It said, Baby Man Gaming 123 ABC is my friend. He's asking how much to unban him. He says he doesn't know why he was banned in the first place. Then he cheered again, 400 bits, said, okay, how much? So now, what we've essentially got are bribes.
Oh my god!
Alright? We're being offered bribes on the stream, which is very much against the rules. You cannot bribe.
Now, keep in mind, as Snort Burnell has on screen already, this has happened before. People have paid their way back into position. I don't know why this is anything new. What it does come down to, if I had to guess, is that he knows why Baby Man Gaming was banned, and he wants to keep him banned, at least for the time being, and he's not willing to take money in exchange for that, unless it's an extremely large amount of money where Phil can't say no to, within reason, of course. Outside of that, Baby Man Gaming, at least the original account, isn't going anywhere. But why he wants to play this off like, oh, that's against TOS, or that's against his rules, is nonsense. Phil has done a bunch of shit that's against TOS. We all know this. It's just Twitch itself doesn't give a shit about its own TOS unless it benefits them. At least that's how it seems, anyway.
The streamer. Bribing the streamer is considered illegal solicitation, conjugation, and confiscation. And all of these things are horrendously bad.
I'm hypocritical.
Alright? So, now I have to take extreme measures. Because you had to do this, you tried to bribe me. Alright? Now what I have to do, I have to go to the leaderboard, and I have to remove a random letter out of your name, just to annoy you.
And I use that negativity, I use that toxicity to fuel me. Right?
So now your name has, you see? Every time that you annoy me, I'm going to remove a random letter from your name on the cheering leaderboard and make it look even stupider. So now you take that. How are you going to handle that? That's what I thought. Okay, let's continue. Truth Seeker. Hold on a second. Truth Seeker. Hold on. Oh my god, this is hilarious. You guys gotta read. Alright, I gotta read this one. This one's great. Truth Seeker 1 did a 100-bit cheer and says,
how can you live with yourself sipping cherry juice and eating turkey burgers while counting the thousands of dollars that you've scammed from children on Twitch? You need to go get a real job.
DSP, get a job.
Yeah, there you go.
Buddy.
that's right. I'm living the life. The life of gourmet, cherry juice, and turkey burgers. I sip, 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 and I bite, 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 and I ban, ban, ban. That's right, and I count. I'm rolling in dough, if you didn't know. I just count. I call it the children's millions. That's what I call it. Every day, I pull out my giant, insane wad of cash, and I count the children's millions that I roll in every day. I really bring in the big dollars here on Twitch with the children's millions. So, it's all about that.
Now, with that being said, this is someone who complains about YouTube and the lack of money or ad revenue or whatever the case may be that's coming through that. Who covets Twitch, who barely even talks about Patreon anymore, which is still bringing what, between $300 and $500 each month, give or take. He's someone who's constantly talking about losing his house, talking about losing his livelihood, talking about, you know, being able to have a nice life with him and his wife, and yet he shows up every day to play games poorly and to entertain poorly, and he's still going. So I'm not saying he's living his best life, because I guess the trolls and the haters and detractors and the critics need to be gone for that to happen, so he can spew his pig psychosis unimpeded and whatnot, and infect as many people as he can, because Lord knows Phil needs more kids and the disabled to come into the piggy ranks to replenish, if you will. But he's not, you know, he ain't out there begging for change. I mean, that's a lie. Sorry, he's begging for bits, so that is change. But he hasn't been reduced to getting a real job yet. Only the women in his life are reduced to doing that. And he has a $2,500 cat, Jasper. So he can just bleed Jasper dry for a little while. And if I had to guess, but this has been going around for a little while, that he's trying very hard to try to convince Kat, or Catherine, to come back on the streams. When in actuality, he should just let her stream. Let her jump back on streams, let her go ahead and get back to her YouTube videos, and watch how much money and attention would come to her. I mean, let's be honest. She doesn't have a dead channel. She doesn't have a whole lot of hate behind her, and she's probably rather restless. She's probably ready to go hard. Not to say that I would know that from experience, but, you know, she's probably ready to go hard. So why why go ahead and kill off another source of ad revenue just so you can be the center of attention when you're not getting promoted on Twitch? DSP Gaming's a dead channel. You don't want to go to KO Gaming or do anything with King of Hate vlogs, and you have someone who still has a chance to do something. I don't know. That's just me.
He's an e-beggar. Phil's just one of the worst e-beggars.
Thank you for exposing me on the stream. I've been completely and utterly exposed on the internet. And as you know, once you get exposed on the internet, you can never live it down. So there you go. Anyway, let's continue. Handicap Gaming ER did a 1,000-bit cheer and just said, okay, how much? So now, Handicap Gaming ER, first of all, that's the biggest cheer of the day with 1,000 bits.
Well, not real quick. He says once you get exposed, you can't live it down. Well, let's see. Jerking off on stream, been caught in multiple lies over multiple situations pertaining to Panda, John and Howard, your family itself at large, about money in general, and about money, and the most important thing, money. Your fourth place finish at Evo, which is utterly a joke, to be honest with you. And I wouldn't say he necessarily got exposed. It's a joke in itself. But then that whole tough guy act that you were doing through the FGC and all the people who punked you, there's plenty of videos out on that. I mean, would you like me to do a broadcast on that? I mean, you already got punked on that. You've already been exposed for getting punked multiple times. I mean, there's not too much. There's a lot out there, Phil. And there's a lot that people bring up to you that are bannable offenses, or you want to ridicule them and shit and say it was spun by detractors, or you say that never happened, as if you're deleting any other videos as of late that at least pertain to that stuff, or that hasn't already been re-uploaded on another channel. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Because, as you ladies and gentlemen all know, it's Tevin's fault.
Alright. So that's 1,000 bits. Thank you for the top cheer, but now you've done it again. So now I have to remove another random letter from your name. So there you go. Now you're 2 letters short. I mean, if you keep doing it, it's going to get worse. Just saying.
That's the mentality of a small, brainless child.
Meet Pistol Meltdown did another cheer and says, purge the ban list. Let's see how many regulars who were banned come back and behave themselves. Third Eye was pretty funny and contributed a lot. Kaz was a decent guy, I guess, too. Who else am I forgetting? Well, considering Meet Pistol Meltdown that you are Third Eye, and we've all known this for a long time, I'm not surprised that you're trying to...
Wait, how did you know that? Also, didn't he say earlier about Babyman Gaming that he said that he suspected that the person who was cheering or throwing money at him, whatever, who was cheering at him was Babyman Gaming? How would he know that? Interesting. Looks like the Piggy Gestapo's been working overtime.
Sponsor yourself to get back into the streams. I swear people think that I'm stupid.
Obviously.
We know who you are. We've known this for weeks. Or actually, I think you've only been around for about a week. It's like, we're not stupid. Oh my god. You just got exposed on stream, brother! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's continue. Alright, continuing on. Meat Pistol Meltdown cheered. He says, I'm not Third Eye. If you knew, then why wasn't I banned from the get-go? What the fuck? Because Third Eye, you've had 4,000 different clone accounts over time, and I just can't be bothered to fucking keep banning them. Like, it's too tedious. It really is. It becomes a chore. So I just don't give a fuck anymore. I just let you come in and do your thing, and as long as you don't violate the rules, whatever, I don't care. I've said this a million times, that people, if you violate the rules, you get banned. Just make a new account, come in, and actually behave this time, and you'll be fine. I don't really care if I find out someone has secretly snuck in under a new name today. I don't give a fuck. I just want to have a good time on my streams.
Well, then if you don't care, then why don't you just let his why don't you go ahead and just let his original account fly? I mean, to be honest, as you said, as long as he comes in and doesn't act up and be a disruptance, then he'd be fine. So why don't you just go ahead and do that? I don't know. It's too much common sense there, I suppose. I guess if he has to see Third Eye the Third's name, it probably rattles him in a very bad place. Because as you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, Darkside Phil, TSP, Phil Burnell, is the pinnacle of honesty, and he cannot stand dishonest people, liars of any sort. He just can't have it. He can't have it at all. So maybe, just maybe, seeing Third Eye the Third's name drums up past occurrences where other people allegedly lied on him without telling him that he was doing wrong, or who just chose to walk out on him in the middle of the night, and so on and so forth. We don't need to bring up names. I'm sure you guys kind of are picking up what I'm throwing down. I'm just saying.
Here to be some kind of crazy ass law enforcement and shit. I'm just here to have fun and play games. I don't give a shit. All right, so that's the truth. And you are Third Eye the Third, by the way. Handicap.
Okay, I don't give a shit, and so on and so forth. I'm not here to have a secret police force or anything. I just want to play games and have fun, despite the fact you knew who Third Eye the Third was under his newest account for weeks or a week or whatever. Okay, fair enough. Same thing with Baby Man Gaming. He knows his alternate account too.
ER, the 250-bit cheer. Said, how does someone go about getting unbanned legitimately for my friend BabyMan Gaming 123 ABC? There's two ways. You can either try to contact the moderator. In particular, if a moderator banned you directly, you probably want to contact them and explain what happened and either apologize or whatever. Or you can email me directly at darksidefell@hotmail.com. Alright? And if you don't get a response from either, it means you're not coming back. It's that simple. By the way, I should bring up that Handicap Gaming ER is almost the top cheerer of the week. Then Meat Pistol Meltdown cheered and said, okay, then put some weight behind your words and unban Third Eye the Third. He says he will not break the rules. As a bonus, he says he will do some legit fan art for free. You are Third Eye the Third. Why are you speaking in the third person? This is so bizarre. Why are you speaking in the third person? You are Third Eye. We're not stupid, dude. Once again, you're being dishonest. The reason you were banned originally was for being dishonest, and you've shown absolutely no signs of changing. You won't even admit that it's you. No, you're not getting unbanned. Take that, mother. Okay, let's continue.
Oh, why am I toxic? Why am I toxic? Why am I toxic? Phil has gout.
Meat Pistol Meltdown just did a 50-bit cheer and says, okay, he says he will make more accounts. He says he has 117 accounts ready to go. Well, Third Eye, you don't really need them. As I said, you know, I'm not a person that's going to ban people on a new account or anything like that. I'm not going to ban you unless you violate the rules again. So you could stay on your Meat Pistol Meltdown account as much as you like to pretend it's not you when we all know it's you and we've known it's you all along. You could, you know, you stay on that account as long as you don't violate the rules, that's fine. Okay? You don't have to use 117 others, just so you know. Okay.
Right now in the short term, tipping me helps more than anything. So guys, if you're watching right now that all this chaos ensue, if you tip me today, not only does it help me more than anything, but also it's another great way to get on the leaderboard. Ayúdame, por favor. Es muy importante. $1 a month actually helps and adds up, alright? As little as $1 helps, okay? Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone.
That has to be exhausting. Exhausting to do this. And the thing is, right, is Phil is such a creature of habit, hence the reason why he lies so much, is also one of the reasons why he doesn't mind regurgitating the same shit over and over and over again. For how many years? He's been begging for well, in truth, he's been taking contributions pretty much his whole YouTube career. This heavy begging, though, has been going on for at least the last 3 years, if not maybe 5 years. He's been begging for a long time. And he's just okay with doing it. And he has the nerve to say that people are jealous of him. Or has the nerve to say that people are that he's living a good life where he's at and whatnot, and he's successful. It's the most silliest thing, but I'm just here to bring you guys the news. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get into the second video of our broadcast right now. Successful. Oh, I love this. I love the new outro, by the way, Snort Burnell. I love the new outro. It's great.
Oh, just gone like that in an instant. Fuck.
This is how to play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the second video of the broadcast. Snort Burnell, DSP, Hardcore Begging Season 2019. Oh yes! And proud of not working for 11 years. Defiant Sniff. Here we go.
Weekend, my main focus is going to be Grand Theft Auto 4. Reason being, next week, we're actually beginning the hardcore gaming season for 2019, which is the very busy fall gaming season when pretty much every week we've got a major release coming out, if not maybe 1 or 2 bye-weeks, but very busy gaming season. And because of that, I'm attempting to wrap up Grand Theft Auto 4's story, you know, sooner rather than later. Not saying that I'm going to rush through it, because I'm not, but at the same time, I don't want to have this game lingering and saying, well, I'm playing, 3 new releases, but now we got to take time off to play Grand Theft Auto 4. See what I mean? Thursday of this coming week, so that's exactly 1 week from today, everyone. It is my Rageathon Marathon, okay? The games that will be played during the Rageathon are as follows. Street Fighter V, Crash Team Racing, Ninja Gaiden Black, World of Warcraft, and Morrowind.
Wow!
Okay? Now what I'm looking...
Those games are horrible except for Street Fighter V. Like, Street Fighter V is where all the action's going to be. Everything else just sounds like... Well, maybe Crash Team Racing, but everything else is going to be garbage. Like, that's terrible. That's a horrible choice of games.
For are good recommendations of the versions of these games that I should play. So if you...
Also, as it pertains to the hardcore begging season or the hardcore gaming season, a lot of those new releases are going to be duds. For him, anyway. They're going to be duds. They're not going to be any contributions. Viewership's going to taper off after maybe the first or second stream. A lot of those things are going to be dead releases. And there's like 2 horror games that are going to be coming out, and he's going to actually do both of those games. Or he's going to, because they come out in like end of August or something along those lines. He should personally stave off, or he should stand off those games until, obviously, Halloween, when they would be best suited, to be honest. Or I don't know, maybe play a little bit of it. No, I guess he could play through the games, and if they have replay value, he can play it again for the Halloween, for the Halloween horror game, whatever. I guess he could do that. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. Either way, there's gonna be a lot of games that are gonna be duds. That's the whole point. It happens every year with him. Every year, some of these new releases are gonna be duds. He'll play it for a couple streams until he sees the interest is basically dried up, come up with a bunch of excuses, and then go to some old game to carry the day for a little while. Until the next new release, anyway.
have a solid recommendation that, oh man, I think Phil should definitely play this version because this is like the best version. And it'll make the marathon more better than if he played an inferior version or whatever. Or, consequently, if you know a way to get these versions on the cheap, because I don't have a lot of money to spend on this marathon, so, this version's only $5 while this version's $20, you know what I mean? I'd like to figure all this out for the next week, okay? So please, by all means, share that information with me with various methods. You can talk about it on the streams. You can email me at darksidephil@hotmail.com. You can tweet me at TheyCallMeDSP. Please help me out so that I can get all that set up for next week's marathon. Alright, so that marathon's going to be super fun. It's going to be starting at the usual time, but running all day long. 5 different games, over an hour of gameplay of each game. And it should be entertaining. Something different. I've not done a marathon in quite a long time, so it'll definitely be something different to split stuff up. It should be pretty fun, okay?
This time of the month...
No, wait. Doesn't he have an Amazon wish list? And couldn't he just check PSN or Xbox Live Shop for those? to be honest. It would probably be, actually, matter of fact, he could probably get either, well, any of those games that he doesn't already own. He could probably just get it in, like I said, an Xbox Live or PSN shop on the cheap. All he needs is the credits. And I'm sure he's sitting on reserve credits anyway. Unless he's trying to go ahead and pocket those for the AAA releases. Which, now that I think about it, I probably answered my own question. Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out.
It's going to be a very trying financially time of the month because, first of all, I've got a bunch of games I need to buy within the next couple of weeks. So I need to afford those, and typically it's tips that I use to buy the games. But in addition to that, my bills are going to come due first week of...
Remember, he made $2,500, more or less, in about a week. Okay? $2,500 in tips that he ended up pocketing right away, but now have no money to get any of these games. But he made $2,500 in about a week. Just keep that in mind. In tips.
September. This happens every month. We're in the first 1 to 2 weeks of the month. My bills all come due at once. If you haven't noticed, in the past week or so, I haven't really been mentioning, being in desperate need of tips or whatever. And some people say, oh, you see, this is Phil's cycle or whatever. Yeah, because what's been happening with me is, the first 2 weeks of the month are terrible for me because all my bills clear and it completely empties my bank account out. And then I get paid by Twitch, and then basically for a few weeks everything backfills. And then I'm
Twitch and YouTube. I don't know why I don't know why he thought about basically pigging his way out of that one. But Twitch and YouTube. Twitch on the 15th, YouTube between the 21st and the 25th, something along those lines. Shouts out to G Money on that one.
okay till like the end of the month. So
oh, and James the Lesser. He also told me that too.
Kind of the situation I'm in right now. That's why I don't really harp on financial stuff. Usually the second half of every month. And typically it's been your tips that have been helping me, keeping me afloat, because I'm not going to get into this, but financially things aren't great for me. They're really bad. And so, your tips have been helping me out with that, okay? So today, thank you if you can contribute. I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth, but if you have the option to contribute via tipping, please do. Tipping me helps me more than anything else right now, okay? The hardcore begging season.
Alright, continuing on. Me Pistol Meltdown cheered 50 bits. Says your wife has a gaming PC and plays Skyrim on a PS4. What's wrong with this picture? Even though she has a gaming PC, she's only, I'd say probably, from what I've seen, she plays about 80% of games on console. Very rarely does she even get the PC version. Don't ask me why, it's her preference. Hey, it's her preference. She bought the gaming PC years ago, played, but primarily it was just for Overwatch, from what I'm to understand, like...
it's funny how this story mirrors his own. Just keep that in mind.
Wanted to play Overwatch, best quality, and so that was the way to do it, was to play it on the gaming PC. But apparently she just doesn't really care, like, she likes playing on console, In reality, I think the truth of the matter is it's just easier to fucking play games on console, as I've told you guys a million times over the years. That's why I do it. Every time you get a game on PC, now you gotta fuck with the settings, you gotta try to get it run optimally on your goddamn rig, and everything. Like, even if I had a high-end gaming PC, and it wasn't an issue that, like, I couldn't capture and stream at the same time playing a game on PC, it would still be a fucking hassle to get the game to run nicely. And I think a lot of gamers just don't want to fucking deal with that shit. When I buy a game, I want to fucking boot it and play it. I don't want to sit here for fucking 5 hours tweaking the anti-aliasing and the fucking gamma settings and the fucking, the texture levels. Oh, should it be Ultra or should it be Ultra Plus Plus? It's fucking stupid.
Ultimate laziness. I'm very sedentary in my lifestyle. I don't move a lot, being honest. I sit here on the couch streaming all day long most days. Keep in mind the fact...
Keep in mind, he calls himself an interactive streamer. And not to say that you can't be an interactive streamer and not know how to run your PC and not know how to run your games at max levels and so on and so forth, but I mean, this is what he is. Remember, he had Chris and Teo spent like $1,500, $1,700 on that rig, and then to show those guys up a couple years later, he ends up buying that CyberPower rig, which cost him what, $3,000 plus for that lemon. So it wasn't like, oh, and he used to build PCs as a hobby, when he had landline tournaments for Unreal Tournament. He used to be one of you, you know what I mean? It's not like he wasn't trying to be part of that lifestyle. It's just he was too lazy and too stupid to actually put any work in or to look any of the information up. Even with his lemon, the $3,000 lemon plus the Chris and Teo rig, you put that in the hands of anybody else who knows how to use Google, and you can make stuff happen. But Phil's, he's not that smart, you see.
I've said numerous times that in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, I built gaming PCs for a hobby. I once had a LAN set up in my parents' house for games such as Unreal Tournament and Quake, and I loved doing it. So I know all about it, and I know how it works, right? I used to be in that group of people who I wanted to play everything on PC. Like, I used to be one of you. You know, I'm a simple guy.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that I actually said all that, and then he says it, he follows it up. But it's funny how someone who prides himself, right, on being the realest guy on YouTube and being honest and advocates for people not to be sheep and not to be followers and so on and so forth, at least according to what he said, included himself into a hobby with other people just so he could be inclusive, just so he could kind of, you know, find his place with a group of people who would accept him. That's kind of what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like he actually enjoyed PC gaming at all. It was just he was looking for a group to hang out with. It's funny when he talks about other groups and he talks about people on Twitter and so on and so forth about how they can't think for themselves or how they want to just follow the popular trends, and just because someone who's popular says something, everybody else kind of flocks to it. But he's done the same thing too. He still does now. That's why he relies on that's why he relies on the opinions of air quotes influencers on Twitter to determine what games are good and what games aren't. So it's funny how when he says there's no good games to play right now, that statement is based on the opinions of other people that 2 years ago he used to slam. He used to slander those people because they had no right to wield their opinion the way they did, which bashes potentially good games. Now he's a follower just like the rest of those people. Imagine that. Dspnews?
I'm a gamer. I'm not a techie. I'm not a fucking guy that knows all the ins and outs of this shit. You're like talking to a lay person. You're talking to a gamer. You're not talking to an editor. You're not talking to a PC, builder. You're not talking to a techie guy. You're talking to a guy who just wants to sit down, press record, play a game, and have fun. Right?
I just want to play the goddamn game.
And sadly, he can't even do that right.
I don't want to be bothered with all this stupid shit. And if the game looks like shit, then so be it. At least I can play it. Alright, a lot of people are not in that mentality. That's kind of my mentality, though.
So basically, as long as it looks good for you, who gives a shit about the viewer, right? Hence the reason why you need to have $300 headset while your sound quality, at times, is kind of wonky for the viewer, right? Stuff like that. Those type of situations. And I should know, because my audio is trash, too. But, you know what I mean? It's like that, right, Phil? As long as your experience is acceptable or is adequate, everybody else can just kind of eat shit and deal with it. It's very Vince McMahon of you.
So, I don't know. Again, I don't know. You'd have to ask Kat, but she prefers to play game on console, and that's the deal. Meat Pistol Meltdown cheered again. He says, you keep referring to this as a legacy. What is your proudest moment as a content creator, and what achievements will you cherish forever? I don't have a proudest moment. As I've said, for me, really the thing that I do feel pride in is that for 11 years I've worked my ass off and never really taken a significant break. If you take a look, there's never been an extended break. I've been constantly pumping out content for you guys for 11 years. I never even took a
That's actually not true either. It depends, I guess, on what his definition of a significant break is. But anytime he's taken long breaks, it's because he had a bunch of videos on backlog. Actually, I haven't gone over a video yet, but I know I've watched a couple of compilation videos where he's talked about that. I mean, that's just a habit that Phil has had, where he'll backlog videos and then use them for either slow periods of time or times where he takes or for periods where he takes time off. And even when he's on vacation, ladies and gentlemen, he still uploads, or he still used to upload videos. So if that's what he's trying to say, then so be it. But when he's taking some real long periods of time off, he's always had videos to compensate. So it almost makes it seem like he's working diligently or around the clock, if you will. And he really isn't. He had a bunch of stuff on spam, especially during like his Street Fighter 4 days. He had, since this guy would only put up set by set by set, or match by match by match, depending on which one, depending on who he was playing, he would have probably hundreds of matches over the span of months, just sitting in the backlog, just waiting to go up. Just for example.
Off ever. In that entire time, I never took any kind of like, oh, I need to break away from it or whatever. Because my formula works. Playing a variety of releases, whether it's a hot new release or it's a retro game. You know, there's so many games out there to play, and because I'm a variety content creator, it allows me to just keep going. If I feel burnt out on a new release today, fuck it, tomorrow I'll play a retro game, right? And that's the cool thing. I never really feel like, damn, today I don't want to come to stream because I'm bored.
So why do we keep fluctuating between an interactive streamer and a content creator, when he's always associated, excuse me, content creators as YouTube and interactive streaming as obviously Twitch? It's really weird how he bounces back and forth between all that.
Happens. I love doing what I do. And unlike a lot of people who've done YouTube for a living or whatever, and they feel, oh, I feel creative burnout, guys. I need to take a month off to rejuvenate myself and come back refreshed. It's like, what the hell? If that's the case, like, what kind of content are you making that you get so burnt out you don't even want to do it anymore? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he's asking himself that same thing now. Like, Phil hasn't had moments in time where he wanted to quit. It's not like Phil hasn't taken vacations off. What are you talking about? Like, really? And to be honest with you, similar to those individuals who he's referring to, a month, for example, would have probably done Phil some favors. But it wouldn't have mattered, ladies and gentlemen, because he would have had so many videos on backlog that he would have still spammed your inbox day in, day out anyway. So keep that in mind. But a month, maybe not a month for him, but 2 weeks without putting any videos on his channel, doing that every 6 months or so, maybe even every 3 months, honest, would have probably been a good thing for him. And it probably would have been a healthy thing for his channel. But no, he still has his little $80,000, sorry, 80,000 sub channel, and it's a dead channel. It's literally a dead channel. Deader than Dillinger. Oh well, it's Tevin's fault, from what I've been told.
I've been the opposite. I love what I do. So to me, like, to not come here to stream would actually feel weird because this is so much fun. You see what I mean? It's very different for me. So 11 years I've kept this going. 11 years I've stayed true. I've never sold out. I've never become one of these talking head guys who, oh, I have a million sponsorships and, you know, this is what I'm all about now. It's not about me having fun. It's not about the content. It's about, you know, me selling a bunch of products and shit, or me getting the promotional thing. A lot of people have become that over the years.
But he has done some of those things. It just failed for him because he can't market anything. Not even himself, to be honest. He can't even really market himself, at least in the long term, to those people who are willing to gobble that shit up. Imagine that. It's sad enough that his reach is so limited that he can't bring in new people unless they're coming in under some morbid curiosity. But even to the people who will do whatever they can to help him and want to ingest this toxic content, he can't even market himself to those people. The people who don't even need marketing. The people who will be there, at least for the time being, no matter what. Can't even do that. Sad, really.
I didn't. I've stayed true to myself, and that's something that's very important to me. That any day, you know, you could jump on a stream and you're going to get my honest opinions about whatever the hell we're talking about that day. You're not going to get the paid promotional stream where I play the game 3 days earlier than everyone else, and I can't say a negative thing about the game because I'm getting paid big bucks to do it. And that's a good thing.
So, listen, and you guys have all seen, well, or at least you guys all remember, that broadcast I did where we showed what the bounty board of a much more successful streamer looked like. As you guys saw, if I remember correctly, the lowest was what, 2,000-3,000 for one particular game, while the highest was like 6 or 7. So Phil has this crazy notion what you guys think about this? He has this crazy notion that taking corporate money is bad, but crowdfunding is good. So, yet again, Mr. Honest Guy prides himself for, you know, not being a shill and doing all these things, is pissed off, and he's said this numerous times. You guys have seen this on Tevin streams, praise be. You've seen it on Lightside Bill streams. You've seen it on Dark Dave Mirrors, as well as others. And you've seen him complain about it on Twitter, on how he doesn't have the opportunities that some of these other people have. He didn't have the chance to do the bounty, to be able to do the bounty board, which is a complete lie. It's just after it's funny how when he saw the bigger money that some people were making, all of a sudden he said, oh, I've been blacklisted. It's funny how that came about, but whatever. That might be a reach on my part, but it's funny how he says that I don't have the opportunities to do this, that, and the third because it's the Detractor's fault, so on and so forth. But not even now, he's been kicking this narrative even longer than that, saying that he didn't want to sell out. He didn't want to take corporate money and feel like he's peddling something that's an out and out lie. But then on the other side of that hoof, he's sitting here telling you that it's a shame and it's unfair that he wasn't able to get those opportunities. So which one is it? Either you're telling the morning audience that, oh, I'm not a shill, I'm not this, I'm not that, and crowdfunding is the way to go, while you're telling the night viewers that, oh, I wish I had those opportunities, but I couldn't because it's Tevin and the critics and the detractors' faults. and if I could have those things presented to me, I would do them, but I can't. So which one is it? Because he's theoretically feeding two different narratives to two different groups of people. Just want to throw that out there. I mean, they're all part of the same piggy cult, but it is two very, very conflicting narratives. And we've all heard that before. We've heard both of those narratives. And yet again, he's not banned or he's not blacklisted from the Twitch bounty board. But he knows that he's not going to make the money, the real money, that some of those other people are making. Making $100, $200 an hour is still not bad. Don't get it wrong. Maybe potentially up to $400, but it's not the $4,000 or $5,000 or $7,000 that he could be making. When you have, for example, some of these FGC guys who have, I don't know, 7,000 to 9,000 people on the regular, and when Street Fighter V comes up on the bounty board and these people are making $10,000 an hour just to play something that they're going to play anyway, I'm pretty sure that burns Piggy, I should call him Piggy, but Philly Piggy's bacon pretty bad. I'm sure it burns his pork chops pretty raw to know that. And have any of you guys ever really thought about his disdain and utter just hatred for Street Fighter V? It has to stem deeper than it's just not fundamental. It doesn't have good fundamentals, or it doesn't teach you good fundamentals. It's a whole lot more than that. He can't profit from it at all. And keep in mind, in closing, he chose Street Fighter V over Project 7. Just throwing that out there. Just a little bit of piggy lore for you.
You know, you can come to me for honesty. In addition to that, again, the fact that 11 straight years, I'm pretty much the most prolific solo content creator on the internet.
I'm actually a virgin.
And of course, no one would ever do the math to prove that, because then they would actually say something positive about me, and no one wants to do that. But I've put out so much content constantly for 11 years that I'm pretty confident, out of everyone who's done this, even people who've done it for work and business, that I have single-handedly created more gameplay content than anyone else on the internet. You know, and that's a huge thing. That's a very huge thing.
So my legacy is I put out a bunch of garbage daily. And so I put out more garbage than anybody else. I've exposed my friends, my family, relationships. I've been exposed for lies that I've told. I've done all these things for 11 years, and that's my legacy. That's what I'm proud of, because I've regurgitated so much trash, so much garbage, so much filth on YouTube. Under the pretense that it was all gaming. That's something to be proud of? That doesn't sound like very much. And the reason why it doesn't sound like very much is obviously because it isn't. Oh boy. Okay. I mean, whatever. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, to sum it all up, he's been doing this for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff out there on him. That's his legacy. To be perfectly honest with you, when it's all said and done, in truth, his detractors, his trolls, and his critics will be his legacy. That's what it's going to come down to. Wait until he wakes up one morning and figures that out. Oh boy. Oh boy.
You know, how many thousands upon thousands of videos, hours upon hours upon hours of content have I created? That's what I would say I'm proud of.
Wow.
I'm just being very honest with all of you tonight. I would prefer if you guys could tip me, because earlier today it was very slow with tips. I got almost none. Although I'll be very honest, it was a very, very good stream for both subs and for cheering. So it wasn't like I was complaining, but as you guys know, I have 3 games I need to buy next week. I've got bills coming up early in September, and it's your tips that help with that. So if you could tip me tonight, that is the preferred method of contribution. It helps me more than anything else. Alright, guys?
Yes, Mithrin dear, I'm well aware I got a lot in cheers, but that's not how life works.
I don't get anything positive out of cheers for over a month, and I need help in the short term, not the long term, which is why I'm saying tonight, if people want to contribute, I would prefer tips, okay?
You must be one greedy piece of shit. Now, keep in mind, he got $300 in cheers, but that don't mean shit, because I don't see that for a month. I want I want $600 right now. I want $600 right now. When this is coming from the same guy who's like, hey, anything that you give me is appreciated, no matter what, but I really want tips. He said this before. So what he should have said is, yes, I've been given $300 in cheers. I very much appreciate it, but I won't see that for a month. And I'm complete and totally grateful for that. But like I said, if anybody can tip now, I appreciate it. But if you still want to prefer to either give subs or do cheers or bits, so be it. But tips are preferred. See how easy it was to word all that? But you know, Phil, it's the greed, you see. It's the greed. Massively strong, and there's certainly no self-control over there.
Stop trying to spin it like it's something negative. It's not. All right.
Disgusting beggar.
All right. I'll tell you right now, anyone who's going to try to derail and be a dick is going to get kicked tonight. So don't even start. Like, hey there, baby. Oh, so you don't want cheers? Do you want to get kicked? Go right ahead and go ahead and start and be a dick and see how long you're in here. Seriously. Like, you think I'm stupid? You think I'm just going to let you fucking be a dick to me? No, you're going to get your ass kicked out of here. So go right ahead and be a dick and see what happens.
It's very salty, but it also has this like sour flavor to it. It does. I've got this aftertaste in my mouth. Ugh. That just, it's not going away. It's a lingering saltiness in my mouth.
You know, it's very possible, Phil, and I'm just making an assumption here. But if you kissed Kat when she came home last night or the night before, you might be just tasting a little bit of gem. I know, it's egregious, but it's possible that's what happened, Phil. I just want to throw that out there. Just saying.
Oh. That is just not very pleasant.
Yep, I'm toxic.
And then don't come bitching to me afterward. Oh, I want to come back. I didn't mean it. Please unban me. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I know, Clutch. Here we go, because here it is. People being dicks and trolling, then they get legitimately kicked or banned, and then they whine and complain. You know, oh, can I get a ban? Can I get a... No. You're an idiot. Oh, shit, I didn't plug in my headphones. I can't hear anything. You guys can hear, but I can't hear anything. Hold on.
What a complete idiot.
For the $20 tip, I appreciate that. That's seriously $30. J-Hale, I'm not even kidding you. You, like, basically topped all the tips today already. Because earlier today I had, like, almost none. And now tonight you basically give me $30 yourself. So you basically... you helped me out a lot today, so thank you very much, J-Hale. I really do appreciate that. You know, what I appreciate everything. What I'm nervous about now is people cheered a lot earlier today. I hope this doesn't stick around for like 4 or 5 days, because I need tips to pay bills and buy games. That's the thing. So I hope that I at least raise enough to buy the games for next week and everything, so.
Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone. Just gone like that.
Holy shit. We couldn't even drum up $30 in tips for the day stream, which, this has been proven, has way more viewers than the night stream. But everything is going really well over there. And the detractors are haters. And they're jealous of them. Can't even drum up $30 in 4 hours. Even Wings can do better than that. Oh shit. I'll see you guys for the last video of the broadcast. It's so bad.
in an instant. Fucking.
This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, that's... sounds good to me.
One can only hope. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the last video of the broadcast. Snort Burnell, DSP. It's time for gouty sauce. And don't worry if you can't contribute. Think about that coming off of what we just saw at the end of the last broadcast. Or at the last video, I should say. Here we go.
Here live on the stream. Happy Saucy Friday. That's right, today is Saucy Friday. August 23rd, 2019. You may be saying to yourself, well, what does Saucy Friday mean? Well, what it means is that I am making a homemade pot of Italian sauce. It is currently simmering downstairs in the kitchen. The house is beginning to smell amazing, which I love. I love it when the house smells so good when I'm making a pot of my family recipe.
I love the red meat.
I really should do like a gout and wine on that, where you guys can go over and see his pot of basically, it's basically cooked Kool-Aid. That's basically what it is. It's absolutely horrifying that people can eat that. Oh, it's a thing. Anyway, I really should do that. I really should do that while that's fresh in my head right now.
Alright.
Homemade Italian sauce, okay? It also means that's why we started late today. I had to prepare the sauce, which takes roughly, I'd say, about an hour and a half. There's a lot of prep that needs to be done, including chopping of vegetables, as well as simmering of salt pork.
Cannibalism.
Now keep in mind, at least with the vegetables, he could have done that the night before. Or could have woken up early this morning, or that morning, and done it. He had options. You know, but that requires too much forethought and, you know, brain dead idiots think ahead, so.
Cooking of sausages, and then grinding and milling of San Marzano Italian tomatoes. And then seasoning, and then getting it ready for simmering, which it's doing right now. I just started simmering at about, I'd say about 25 minutes ago, and it has to slow simmer for about 4.5 hours over the course of the day. So, the stream started late, but the gameplay is going to start shortly. In fact, this pre-stream will probably last about 20 minutes to 25 minutes, and then we're going to get started with gameplay right after I go stir and season my sauce for the first time. I have to season it every 40 minutes or so. So that's the deal. Today, we are going to be taking frequent breaks. It's going to be about every 20 minutes or so. I'll probably be heading downstairs to stir, every 40 minutes to stir and season. Kat is currently a little busy with some stuff, but if she gets freed up later in the day, then she's going to help me with that, so maybe I won't have to stir it every time. But we'll see what happens with that, okay? So because of that, that's why we're starting late. I mean, normally my stream would have started an hour ago. Apologies that the stream started late, but not much you can do about that. You know, this is something that I do about every, I want to say about every 2.5 months, roughly. Yeah, I'd say about every 2.5 months is about the frequency that I make a pot of Italian sauce. And it lasts a while. What happens is today, later today, for dinner, we'll be having the Italian Sicilian-style chicken sausages on grinder rolls with fresh sauce and melted mozzarella cheese. That's going to be our dinner. And then we get 6 portions of the sauce and extra sausage to save for future meals, which usually amounts to pasta. Usually we make, like, rotini.
Penne. Oh, penne pasta is great. I prefer penne because it's easier to eat. You know, you got to slurp it. It gets all over the sauce. There's something to eat it properly. It's fun and delicious. You eat it easily.
Or rigatoni, some kind of a pasta with the sauce, with some of the sausage with it for future meals. Every once in a while we do something very different, like maybe do chicken parmesan or something with the sauce as well. But it ends up being, after today, 6 more portions, which is amazing, because basically we have it at least twice a month. And that's why it lasts about 2.5 months. If you're eating it every other week, you know, it can be drawn out and last a pretty good amount of time. So that's what's going on today here. The house is smelling amazing. It's funny because Jasper still doesn't know what the heck is going on whenever we're cooking major cooking in the kitchen. He has no clue. So he stays away from the kitchen. He usually stays near the back of the house, near his cat tree. We had the back door open because we're cooking, you know, let the
I'm salivating at the goddamn mouth.
the smoke and everything out. So he was very enamored with the backyard today, looking at little creatures hopping around like birds and the like, okay? So, that's what's going on. Now, guys, understandably, today's stream is going to be all thrown off. People were probably here an hour ago, so I wasn't...
It's a shame that Jasper can't go outside and see the wonderful world that is his backyard because, you know, he's declawed and he can't defend himself. And, you know, that lizard gang out there, I hear they're a bit of a problem. And then at night or towards the evening, I hear Frog Gang come out and, you know, that becomes a problem in itself and, you know, can't do it.
And took off. I wouldn't be surprised if the attendance on this first stream is low. You know, I'm just being honest. I don't think it's going to be a very high attendance, very high energy stream because I'm doing something very differently today and it threw the schedule off, okay? Now, that's perfectly fine. You know, I'm not going to stand here and be upset. It is what it is. So what are we doing today? Today we're playing Dragon Quest Builders 2. Alright.
Contributions are greatly appreciated. Contributions, again, they pay my bills, they pay for the new games, they, you know, allow me to do what I love. However, they're not mandatory. If you're just here to hang out and you can't really afford to contribute, don't worry about it. I'm happy to just have people come by and hang out with me on a daily basis. But that being said, if you can contribute, it is greatly appreciated. It helps, it allows me to do this. So please consider contributing in one of the following methods. The first is my Patreon. I also have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of fun merchandise, primarily t-shirts, but there's other stuff there like stickers and mugs and the like. If you buy something from there, I get a little bit of help, but you get a cool collectible out of it, so thanks for that, okay? If you're here live on the stream and you would like to participate by contributing during the stream by either cheering with bits or subscribing to my channel or tipping me, if you do any of those things, I'm going to give you a verbal shout out during the stream. Wow.
Sorry, I kind of have to say this. Okay, so a cool collectible, yeah? I wouldn't think if I was to get into selling merch that anything that I sell would be considered a collectible. But only because I don't think it's going to have much resale value. In 20, 30 years, ladies and gentlemen, 20, 30 years, okay? That's when you know what I'm saying, for a lot of us, we'll have children and whatnot who will probably be college age at that point, give or take, in the next 30 years or so. Do you really see any of them thinking, you know what? Whatever happened to that guy that my dad or my mom used to make fun of every once in a while, or used to watch his dumb shit? Oh yeah, Darkside Phil, or Darkside Piggy, Darkside Porker, whatever. I wonder if anybody actually has his shirts. I'm gonna go on eBay and I'm gonna see if there's any Darkside Piggy merchandise to be had, and see what it's worth. Do you really think anybody's gonna give a shit about any of that in 30 years? Even in 20 years? I almost doubt in 10, to be honest. His autograph won't be worth jack shit. He will be an internet anomaly. He'll be internet infamous. I doubt, I mean, unless, I'm going to be brutal about this, but it's sadly, it'll be true. Unless he ends up dying. Even then, it probably won't be worth much. Like with Chris Chan, for example, passed away tomorrow. Anything that anybody has of Chris Chan is probably worth something, to be honest. For Phil, it kind of falls into that same category. I mean, but then again, it probably won't, because look at the amount of, look at his legacy, and look at the sheer amount of material that's out on him. It's all right there. You know what I'm saying? And that, like I said, that's only a niche audience that would even be concerned about that. No one else is going to care. So to call it a collectible seems, I don't know, odd to me, I guess. I guess it'd be different if you had one of his statues or something, but even then, there's probably a very, very small market of autism that's going to want to purchase it or want to collect all that. Just my personal opinion, of course. DSP News.
Best way that you can contribute and help me out is by tipping me today. Please tip me if you at all can, all right? The tips keep the stuff going around here. Let the green roll in. Give me your money. So now we start with shout-outs that actually happened during today's stream. We started off with Handicapped Gaming ER, who did a 150-bit cheer and said, "I'm a goat. No, I'm not. I'm not average. No, let's go." What the? I guess that's a lyric to a song. Frog for Life tipped me $3. Now, Frog for Life is the first tipper of the stream, so he gets up there as the top tipper. Let's get Frog for Life up there.
And they say the following. Hi, Phil. I just wanted to know if maybe around Halloween for one stream, would you play Darkstalkers, one of my favorite fighting game series? And maybe Jasper can cosplay as Morrigan or Felicia from Darkstalkers for fun. I don't know how that would be possible. That sounds pretty ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I can put wings on him, but that's about it. But I don't know, like, Kat is all about, oh, we should dress up Jasper for Halloween. I'm like, I don't know. Like, if I were an animal, I probably wouldn't want a costume on me. I'm just saying, like, I probably would be annoyed if there was a freaking costume on my ass. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Anything for this, right?
We'll see if there's any costumes available. I mean, I'm sure we'd get it on him, but he wouldn't be very happy. I'm just saying. But I don't think we're going to be dressing him up as a succubus for Halloween. I'm just saying. Thank you for the tip. Handicap Gaming ER cheered and said, "Hey, Phil, did you power wash your driveway?" Here, I think what you're remembering is 2 years ago, I had to power wash my driveway, and when I did, I got severely sunburnt. And then you saw for the next, like, 3 weeks on stream, I was, like, red like a tomato. We're not required to power wash our driveways unless there's a mold buildup. And this year in particular, there wasn't a lot of precipitation during the summer. So I don't think that we're going to be required to do it this year. So the answer is no, I haven't, and I don't think we're going to be required to do it. Then we had a troll trying to get me to say something that was
But I mean, shouldn't you do it just because? If it's something that they're required to do, like once or twice a year, just do it. Don't wait until you have mold to do it. You know what I mean? Like, just go ahead and get it out the way. And that's if they even have to do it twice a year. They probably only have to do it once. But Phil don't want to do it because, oh, there's no mold out there yet, so I would rather wait till things go bad before I actually do something. That certainly sounds like the DSP way.
I mean, banned from Twitch, but I'm not that stupid.
Really?
Big Roats tipped me $1. It says, "I thought red meat messes with your foot. Why do you add pork to your sauce?" It's pork fat. It's not the actual meat. It's the fat base. It's not the meat of the pork. And actually, in reality, certain cuts of pork are not bad at all for acid buildup in the body. It depends. It's basically the fattier cuts of meat, like bacon, not good, okay? But pork chops, great. See what I mean? It's not like, not every cut of pork is super acidic like beef. Beef is known to be one of the more acidic meats. Shellfish is very acidic, okay? That's the stuff I gotta stay away from.
How's the gout, Phil?
Oh my god, here's another one. How's the gout, Phil? Another idiot. This is great.
How's that gout?
How's that gout?
But my sauce has a pork fat base that you use to cook the meat in, and also that's what it's simmered in. Now I could go with like vegetable oil.
Now keep in mind though too, that's where the flavor is at. Let's be honest. I don't know why he has to explain it any further than that. It's where the flavor is.
Oil, you know, stuff like that. If I ever wanted to do like a veggie sauce, I probably would. I probably wouldn't use pork fat. I would use like a veggie base, like vegetable oil or something. But my sauce is a meat base, and that's why I do it. By the way, you're greatly overestimating the amount of pork that I put into it. There's almost none. Like, it's very little. It's just a few cubes of pork fat that melt in the bottom of the pot.
We just had a troll in the chat. Celebrate gout 100. So, har har har, Phil had gout earlier this year, and he talked about it publicly because he talks about this stuff publicly. He shares it, right? He's not ashamed. He's not one of these people who hides the personal shit about his life. He talks about it. And so I brought this up, and everyone knows that I had gout earlier this year, and I don't have it anymore. I haven't had it since, shit, I'm trying to think, the last flare-up was sometime during the summer, you know? Because I changed my lifestyle. I don't drink as much. I'm not eating as much red meat. I'm a lot more healthy now. And because of that, I haven't had any issues with it. But they think it's, like, funny to bring that shit up. Look, another one. Fall gout. How is this funny?
And then everything simmers in it. It's not like, oh, he's throwing in pounds and pounds of pork. It's not even a cup of the pork fat that I throw in there, and I only use it to create a base, and then I take it out. So, no worries there.
So there you go. The answer is, could I possibly get, like, an outburst of gout? Like,
yeah, and he's kind of already doing that wrong. I mean, you put it in because it's part of your base, obviously, and then you keep it in until you're done with until the sauce has completely been cooked. And then you just let it sit in there. If you're not going to eat it, you're not going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least that part of it. So, and like I said, I think he just said there's some pork cubes. They're going to probably, you know, more than likely they'll end up just dissolving in the acidity of the sauce anyway. So I doubt he takes them out. So I guess we don't even have to worry about that part. But for him to go off on that little, it's not even a tangent, but for him to have to explain that away that way is stupid. Especially when he had a couple of meat flare-ups early in the year anyway, because Catherine had made sliders, and she made something else that was pretty beef heavy. I think it was sliders, and then she actually made like Angus beef burgers. And she did that at least twice this year. And it wasn't necessarily a flare-up of gout, but you could tell he was super sluggish, and as well as the days following. So I don't even know why he's fighting that. He needs to learn how to pick his battles better.
Yeah, I could actually, if I don't watch my diet, if I either start drinking heavily on a regular basis, or I start eating a lot of red meat and shellfish again, or if I stop drinking the cherry juice that I drink every day for dinner, yeah, I probably could have a big bad outbreak. But in general, as long as I stay on the regimen I'm on, I should be okay. Snort did nothing wrong, tipped me $1. I said free Tevin. Free Tevin? There's nothing I can do to free Tevin. First of all, he has to free himself from his own stupidity. And also, he got banned from Twitch over a year ago at this point, and it had nothing to do with me. I'm good at lying. Gucci Highwater tipped me $1, says, you and Tevin are like Harry Potter and Voldemort. One cannot survive while the other lives. That's actually the complete opposite. Like, he wouldn't survive without me. I certainly don't need him. That's not the case at all. I could certainly survive while he lives. I don't need him to go away to survive. I've only been around for what, 11 fucking years, and there's been a million people just like him.
You just need him to go to jail for restreaming, right? Just, you know, you don't need him. You don't. God forbid that, you know, anything actually happens to Tevin. You just need him to go to jail. Gotcha.
Free him from being banned for breaking Twitch's rules. That's his own stupidity. So thank you for the $1 tip. Still has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. By eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decent.
Alright, let's go. Silly shit, man. Silly shit. Alright, guys. So, that's the end of that. Let's do a little bit of cleanup here. Alright. Sweet. Okay, so what do we take from all this, ladies and gentlemen? What do we take from all this? Oh, that shit. Shouts out to Tevin. Let's say. It's funny for all, if any of you guys have actually gone into the Tevin lore, right? You've seen, and if you've seen all of his old videos and you saw the amount of time and effort he tried to put into trying to help Phil, it's almost an injustice. It's almost an injustice that things worked out the way they did, sadly. Okay, so living the dream life with cherry juice and turkey burgers are what they are. That cherry juice is going to be his own personal drink when he goes to hell. He's never going to live that down. He's stuck with that for life. And even if he never gets a flare up again, he'll always drink cherry juice. So he's always stuck to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. People talk about jokingly, like Medicare, for example. People talk about Phil's survivability and how he could pretty much survive anything, a nuclear blast, right? It's an amazing thing because like Panda's gone, or at least Panda's channel's gone. Medicare is now not even on YouTube. He can allegedly outlive anybody, but it doesn't mean that he still isn't burdened. It's not like he still doesn't have deep lacerations, if not broken hooves and whatnot, and broken baby backs and stuff like that. It's not like he hasn't been carved up. Just because the pig keeps squirming doesn't make it a win. So I understand people like to joke about him outlasting, but it's not that. If anything else, all any of this proves with YouTube going on right now and all the situations and shit is that everybody has their day and eventually everybody's gonna fall. That's all it comes down to. And his day will come just like everybody else. It's an inevitability. It is what it is. As it pertains to the hardcore begging season, I don't know. This year has been really, it's been kind of hit or miss, to be honest with you, as it pertains to contributions to any whale activity. I don't think the hardcore begging season is going to be, unless a couple of people come in on the troll tip with some serious money that morph into whales. Even then, it won't last long. 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then they're going to be gone. I'm anxious to see how the hardcore begging season plays itself out. Mainly because I only give a shit about the gold dust. Not really gold dust, but I care about the lore and looking for stuff to debunk. But whatever it is, I'll bring it to you. Might do a 12 days of Goutmas like we did last year. I feel like that's kind of a tradition on this channel. We'll see. I'm thinking about doing it. But we'll see how that plays out. 12 proud for not working for 11 years. That's a detriment more than anything. That's really a detriment because he really has nothing else to fall back on. He has to make this work, or he's definitely going to be working a low-wage job once it's all gone. So much for thinking about your future. And the gouty sauce is what it is, and if in the contributions, he's obviously making money. He's not making money in the way that he wants it. He's not making it as quickly as he wanted to, but he's still making it. And you know, they say people are suckers, and if nothing else, Phil has generally proven that. You know what I mean? He can pretty much take advantage of anybody if given the circumstances. Hence the reason why he doesn't like having detractors or critics. If in his mind, if those people were out of the equation, he would be able to get all the money he wants. But in truth, that's not even true, because what it comes down to is within his own pig roach cult, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna be like, what you're saying today doesn't sound the same to what you said last week. Something's wrong with this. And then they get banned. And then the movement just gets started all over again. That's how it all started. That's essentially how this all ends. And I think despite Phil's efforts, like with the whole situation with getting Tevin and those other two guys kicked, that's going to come back on him to be one of the worst mistakes he ever made. In my own personal opinion, in closing, him knocking Tevin, Tex, and Bill Purnell off of Twitch was the dumbest thing that he ever did. It really was. Because now, as it pertains to the platform, now you've given Tevin more time to basically do whatever. And yes, he's building up Mixer, and then given the situation with Ninja and all that, he's still focusing on Mixer. He was over there before Ninja. He'll be over there after Ninja, to be honest. So he's always has something else that he can do. As you know, he had Stream.me for a while. That was a nice thing until, well, that's a long story in itself. I might go over that with you guys one day on the nonsense that happened over there that ended up tanking that channel. You took Tevin away from a platform, at least temporarily, for no particular reason outside of the fact that you didn't want, or Phil didn't want, his detractors to end up getting more views than him on game-related content. That's what was burning Phil. That was really hurting him and working at his ego. He was getting upset at the fact that Tevin at that time was pulling 250, almost 300 people. His quality was continuing to go up because that's what Tevin does. He's always striving to make his streams better. More and more people were going over there, and it was working Phil's nerves. Now, this is at a time when Phil was still able to pull 600, 700, 800 people on the regular with no problem. He can't do that now unless there's drama or whatnot, or he's going to get seriously baited out in a special event, in air quotes. But Tevin was no threat to him at all. Tevin was concentrated on his own shit. Same thing with the other two individuals. And he screwed all of that up, and now look at him. Now Tevin's back over here on YouTube streaming. Number has 3 or 4 times the viewership, making 3 or 4 times the amount of money, and is not even trying. And now he's mad. Now he's pissed off. Now he's trying to get people kicked off of this platform too. Because he was petty. Because he was petty. He could have just let shit live the way it was. He had already had Tevin, if I had to guess, he had Tevin suspended at least once. You know what I mean? Or he had at least his account restricted at least once. But no, that wasn't enough for Phil. Now you kicked him off. Now, a movement is slowly but surely had been built up around restreaming. Now there's 3 targets, but Phil is with this old additive, that, oh, I'm gonna take out Tevin, and once Tevin's gone, then the other guys are just gonna fall back. And if anybody has been paying attention for any period of time, and not just to this Detractor shit, but just the history in general, that's never how that's gonna work. Only thing happens now is LSB and Dark Dave move up, and then Theo ends up moving up into the mix also, and then whoever else that restreams. That's all it does. It doesn't change anything. And that's whether Tevin walks on his own accord, or if Tevin is knocked off. It doesn't do anything. And then, even then, Tevin's influence will always still be there. Phil can never win. Phil has to sit here and actually put the hoof work in and direct these piggies. The mere presence of Tevin still will carry weight. And that right there is what Phil doesn't understand. For all the years that he ain't had all these brain dead idiots doing all this dirt for him, he never figured out that it's a difference to have people who look up to you and have people respect you. And Phil's never understood that. You know what I mean? There's a difference, because you can look up to someone and whatnot and then look to want to outshine them later. Whereas respect is respect. Phil has tried to command respect, but just because you can get a bunch of kids to run around and do a bunch of silly shit for you, don't mean that they respect you. Most of them don't even know what respect is. And that's why most of them ended up leaving him. The other ones are just used to having him around. And then a group within that just feel pity for him. That's not even respect. That's just pity. They feel bad for you. Oh, make of that what you will. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys for the next broadcast, whenever that is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions for the Snort Report. I've been your host, /anchor, GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. When you think about it, it's really sad, actually. In the broadcast.